Hello, David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. You know, I've talked about Lock & Co. in quite a few videos. It's a great place to visit in London. I've been there many times. The people have been fantastic. Yes, this hat came from Lock & Co. And, well, we're back because for the 60th anniversary of James Bond, the company who has over 360 years of legacy, of history, of customer experiences, well, they have a new jam. They have a new jaunt, and that jaunt is with 007. I couldn't think of a better year for them to do this, and I believe that it's their very first movie licensing deal, and what a deal to do it. These two iconic British brands coming together, intertwining to give us some really interesting and exciting collectibles. And you may have seen, I know it's hard to focus with all this other stuff from Goldfinger going on, but there is a box here from Lock & Co. for me to do an unboxing, to do a review, and talk about one of their most iconic pieces in a 7-piece lineup that they're going to be releasing in 2022. Now, we've got to set the table because it is the 60th anniversary and there's a lot of focus, of course, on the first James Bond movies, the one that have become templates for everything that we know, and certainly Goldfinger is one of those. Dr. No is another, and I would say a late stage favorite. It's become just something that's grown on people, especially aficionados, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yes, George Lazenby's one outing, but what an outing that he had. And these hats, these collectibles, these iconic pieces are such an indelible part of some significant moments in those movies. So what did they do? Well, they went into the archives, they worked with Eon directly, and they said, what are we going to do as far as an homage? You know, how are we going to honor this incredible franchise and legacy? Are we going to make exact replicas? Maybe. Well, we may do that. Or are we going to kind of sort of change it up a little bit and create our own homage, this restyling of the past and the present all coming together like a Reese's peanut butter cup. Yeah, two tastes that taste great as one. I swear this is not sponsored by Reese's peanut butter cup, so let's get right into the box. We've got our little handy dandy pen here, and look at the size of this box. So I'm not going to tell you which one they sent, but I basically, as I open this, I'll talk to you. I hope you don't mind. But I, said to them when I was in touch with Lock & Co., do me a favor, there's going to be 3 releases, and we'll talk about each of those releases momentarily. There's going to be 3 releases through the year. What if I was to unbox, talk about, experience one hat from every release? And I said for the first release, send me your most iconic hat, the one that really sets the tone of the collection. All right, we've got the packing right here. I'm going to put my knife away before there will be blood. Oh. See, I love, I love this, the shock and awe of seeing a brand pop up in your face. So look at that. This is not small. You know the size of my head by now. So that is the 007 logo, absolutely beautiful, embossed on the raised hat box, a beautiful black cord. So we're going to gently pull that out. You've got a nice little well in there, but that will be discarded haphazardly, just like Bond does. But this won't be. This is absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at the box. So each box, it's on the front as well. Very nice. Each Lock & Co. box, it's not just for beauty's sake. You see one over here. I've got one in front of me and From Russia with Love with the trilby. It's actually to protect the hat, and it's not just because of dust. It's because of light and fading and all these wonderful things. Hat boxes keep things dry. They keep things protected. There's a practical reasons why hat boxes have survived the test of time. But I'm just like a cat. A box is made to be open. So let's gently pull down the cord and see what's in the box. It's become my patented thing. All right, hold on. This thing has flown all the way. Oh, look at that. All the way from overseas. So let me put down the hat box gently. Oh, well, actually, David, why don't you just put it here? Pretend you're doing a video, David. Come on, shape up. Wow. Okay, so right off the bat, and of course I knew that this is what they were going to send me, and I was hoping this is what they were going to choose. But this is their odd job hat. Now, let's step back and describe this, because as I'm looking at it, I mean, obviously this is a top hat, but there is so much more, and we need a couple show notes to really do it justice. This distinctive square top bowler hat pays homage to the original design made by Lock & Co. for odd job actor Harold Sakata in Goldfinger. Made in a limited series, this collector's piece is crafted by hand in the traditional way with a high breathable internal leather sweatband, a black mourning band, and finished using black sartorial wool. This particularly fine quality wool comes from a rare sheep breed founded by King Philip II of Spain in 1584. That sheep must be really old by now. Sartorial is a rare and luxurious wool which today can only be found in small numbers in Australia and New Zealand. So it boggles the mind that there's only 60 of these made. I mean, this is one of 60, which makes it highly collectible. I don't believe the other hats are going to be limited, which is good. So this way, if you do want one of the other hats, you will be able to do just that. And it's a beautifully crafted piece. Now, one thing, and all my reviews have to be authentic. They have to be real. I wouldn't walk out of the house with this. This is not something that I would wear down the street. I do know that Lock & Co. are making these hats, and there are hats in the collection I would wear, like well, we'll get to those other ones in a second. But this one in particular, I wouldn't wear for two reasons. Number one, I don't really have a practical use or application to wear a top hat outside of the house. When I wear a tuxedo, I wear my Skyfall tuxedo. It's not tails, so I wouldn't wear a top hat. If I had an occasion to wear a top hat, I certainly would. But the other thing is, this is a size medium. It's a 57. So that is unfortunately too small for my head. I'm at 59. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to get my head to even try this on for you. I mean, I could, but it's not going to work. So it is going to be a collectible. I'll get a hat stand. There are hat stands out there that are beautiful. I'll probably put a nice mirror bottom on it so you can see up and you can see the branding. There are hat stands that have that. It's like a little curl and it goes up, and then it'll sit right on the 007 box, and it'll be a beautiful display right here, and I will cherish it and love it because it's an amazing collectible. And I would have wanted this anyway because I'm into the sartorial things. I'm definitely I'm an appreciator of the skill set and the experience and the heritage that it takes to create something like this. Would I buy it to wear it? Not so much. But let me talk about something else. So they released other, what I consider more practical hats. In this particular line this time they have, for example, the Auric. Now the Auric here is a flat cap. It's a simple flat cap. It's like a beigeish gold color. You could see it. And it replicates, obviously, Auric Goldfinger's hat that he wears when he's playing golf with Bond in this outfit. And they also have something from Tracy, the Vicenza. And that is also a great hat. It says that it's unisex, but I could only see women wearing it. But, you know, maybe I'm an old fogey and that's how I feel. But Danielle would love that hat. She would wear that hat. It's a practical hat, but it's an interesting hat. It's fashionable. It's very cosmopolitan. So I think that in and of itself would be enough to connect people. And I will say something about the Tracy. We're always thinking, like, how do we get our significant others a little bit more ingrained / accepting of the Bond experiences that we create, the Bond purchases that we make? Maybe getting them a James Bond hat or a Bond girl hat might do that. So it could be one of these things that, hey, honey, look what I got for you. And it's a James Bond thing. I don't know. Use that advice with caution is what I say, depending on your target audience. Gosh, that sounded like a CYA moment of a contract, but I've lived a life is what I'm saying. Back to the hats. So I'm excited about this. Again, iconic, one of 60, all those wonderful things I talked about. I have to tell you something though. It's the ones that are coming that I think are going to blow us all away, because There are hats like this. Yeah, the Stoke Poges hat is coming back, and you can get it. And it looks like it has a slightly more accurate band this time, so that's pretty good. The other thing is, and you can see some of the ones that are coming out here. You've got the Andrea, the Andrea, from The Man with the Golden Gun, which is really cool. You know, obviously it looks like a straw type material, but that's going to be a nice connection for the woman, for the Bond girl in your life, obviously. You've also got the Tribbley, David, Tribbley. It's like Star Trek, Tribbles, Troubles with Tribbles. The Tribbley, I own the thing and I can't even say it. The Tribbley from Dr. No. And this is the one that I think is going to create a seismic effect. I absolutely want to review this, and I want to actually wear this out in the wild because I have the From Russia with Love one. It's a brown. This one they found a receipt. I think Meg Simmons from the Eon Archive found a receipt where it says green, which many people have suspected. And now you see them in 4K, you know that it's actually green. So I want that green one. I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect as far as a Sandown type hat that is, something you wear at the racetrack or just out and about in a more forestal, country-like setting. That's going to be the one that everybody connects to. And let's face it, it's Sean Connery. It's Sean Connery. So I think the Sean Connery ones are going to be extremely popular. And even, I think what's interesting, they did an homage hat that was never seen in a movie, right? I mean, so I think it's called the 60s, which is their nod, their deference to the classic nature of the 60s, the hats of the 60s connected with Bond as kind of a ribbon that runs through everything. That should be their marketing tagline. We have Bond running like a ribbon through everything that we do, because the ribbon and the sutures and no, I won't quit my day job. Anyway, this is fantastic. It's amazing. We will obviously be bringing more of these experiences. All right, I'll try it on. I'm telling you, it's going to be too small. Look at that, too small. I look like Abraham Lincoln. That is no. I'm gonna pop the thing. It's too small. But that's okay. Like I said, 98.8% of the time it's going to be right here with me pulling up a chair and having a drink and staring at it longingly. But thank you to all the people at Lock & Co. Thank you for all the incredible customer experiences that you do, the wonderful craftsmanship, the styling, and thank you for taking the leap. And you've heard me talk about marketing. It is a leap to have this type of a partnership. There's investments, there's discussions, there's 18 months worth of phone calls and contracts and things like that, all to bring this to light. So is this investment, and I believe it's about $795 for this particular one, is the investment for everyone? It's not going to be for everyone. It's considered a luxury brand and a collectible. It's one of 60. But for those that are making the investment, you can be sure that it's part of a heritage brand of a very long, I think the oldest hattery in the world, and with a sharp and interesting new connection to James Bond. All right. In the meantime, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, and we'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.